Hiya, this is Deb. I'm in my shed, and as you can see, it's getting a bit cold at the moment, so I'm wearing my hat to keep me warm. And I'm in here just recording a video for you to give you a little bit of a tutorial on how to make the pumpkin part of the Mini Monster Crochet Along Humpkin. Humpkin, the Humpty Pumpkin. Yay! Okay, so I'm going to show you how to make the pumpkin outfit for Humpkin, the Humpty Pumpkin. Okay, so to start off with, you're going to make a chain of 18. So it's very easy, this part. Okay, so we're going to chain 18. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, and then we're just going to do a half double crochet into the third, so 1, 2, 3, third chain from the hook. Okay, so there we go, and the first row, because this is done in rows, is just done like that. First 2 stitches, which become like the turning chain, they actually make the first half double crochet, so you should end up, when you get to the end, with 17. So we'll just go all the way along to the end, just doing the half double crochet all the way to the end. And if you're watching and you normally work in UK terms, then it's a half treble. So there we go, nearly at the end. Right, okay, let's count. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So 17 stitches, and then we're going to chain 2, and we're going to be going in the back loops only from now on. Okay, so we're half double crochet in the back loops only, and we will go all the way along again like this, all the way back to the end, and then it will be a 2 chain turn and all the way back again, and we'll continue doing that until you have 32 rows, including the first row that we did. Okay, so I'll meet you back here when we've got to the end of the 32 rows. Okay, so we've done our 32 rows, and we've got like a lovely piece of ribbing, and what we're going to do now is we're going to join it up. So we are going to slip stitch it together. So I am going to just go in to the edge here on the back loop of this side here on the right hand side, and then through the what was the starting chain here, and I am just, as you can see there, so line them up, line the stitches up, and I'm going to slip stitch through all of these and just go in through the back loop only of that one on this side and slip stitch through the foundation chain there like that. Okay, so I'm just going to go all the way along like this, and it'll make a lovely, neat, almost invisible join. You might be able to hear a bit of creaking going on there. That's the trees on the roof of my shedio. Sometimes you hear cats going across the roof as well, and people from the garage singing and all sorts, which is why normally I don't talk on my videos. I normally just put captions, but for this it's too much. I need to say too much. So anyway, just put up with a few background noises. I'm sure you won't mind. Here we go. So I'm nearly at the end, kind of matching them up as best I can all the way along. We're nearly there. The last stitch here is a little bit awkward. Okay, right, and there we go. So we have joined it all the way across. As you can see, it looks nice and neat. You can almost not tell. Obviously there's just a slightly thicker ridge on that side than there is on the rest, but anyway, it's quite nice and neat. So I'm going to cut it off and put it through to fasten it off, and there we go. So this is the beginnings of his little pumpkin suit. But we need to bring it in. Okay, so we're going to do the bottom cuff first, and then I'll show you how to do the top part. So the bottom cuff, if you look on the one I did before, is a lot smaller, so we've got to bring it in by quite a lot. Okay, so I'm just going to get my green yarn ready, and then I'll show you this part. Okay, so we're going to start on one edge. I'm starting with the one that doesn't need sewing in so that I can show you this a bit quicker. And okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to hook in our green and just chain one to keep it secure. And then what we're going to be doing with this is really bringing it in, like, so it's going to be like concertinaing up, so pleating the edge so that it really brings it in. So we're going to just be doing one single crochet into the valleys. Okay, so this is what I call valleys, and then this is the ridge of the ribs. So we're going to miss the ridge completely and go into the next valley, and you're going to have to sort of like wiggle it a little bit to keep that tension so you don't end up with it all baggy and loose. Okay, so miss the ridge, go into the valley, miss the ridge, go into the valley. Ooh, come on then. Talking to my yarn. Okay, so yeah, miss the ridge, go into the valley, pull it tight, miss the ridge, into the valley, and adjust the tension. And as you can see, that is really pulling that in nicely now. So you're basically kind of reducing it down by at least half. Okay, so miss the ridge, into the valley, and work our way round. So I will see you back here in a sec. Okay, we're back at the start, and we're going to slip stitch into the first stitch we had here, like that. Okay, and now if I just put my stitch marker in, you'll be able to see it's come in really small, which will just about fit the feet of your Humphrey through, like that. Okay, so as you can see, this one has got a little bit of a cuff on it, so we are then going to go around with one round of half double crochet. So we're going to chain two, and we're just gonna half double crochet into each. Oh, excuse me, I'm missing it there. Yeah, oh no, I wasn't. Okay, half double crochet into each stitch all the way around, which will just give it a little bit of definition and make it look like a nice little cuff. Okay, so here we are back at the beginning again, just doing the last stitch in here, and this time we're going to slip stitch into the top of these chains. Okay, so in the top of the second chain that we did there, which makes 18 half double crochets, including the first chain 2 that we started off with. Okay, and then we're going to cut it, fasten off, and there's a little cuff for that. Okay, so it's looking really cute. So we're just going to try that on. This one is Flumpty. Flumpty the Humpty Pumpkin. He normally wears a little hat, but he's just modelling today. So you can see you can just fit the legs in like that, and it kind of comes up like that, and we're going to then ruche that all up, and that will become his little pumpkin suit. Okay, so we'll show you that in just a sec. So on the top edge, we're going to draw it in a bit, but not as much as the bottom. So I'm just going to show you which holes I'm putting it in. So I'm doing it in the like the valley of the rib part, if you get what I mean. And so I'm just poking it in here. So I'm just doing one single crochet, and then the next one I'm going in right next to the ridge here, look. So you've got that stitch right next to it like that, and doing the next one, and then into the valley and onto the ridge and into the valley, just in the top of the stitch there, and into the ridge. And I'm just doing that all the way around like this until we get to the end. Oh, that's a little bit stiff there. And then I am going to slip stitch into that first stitch. Okay, like that. So now we've reached the end, we're going to start making the little leaves of the pumpkin. So I'm just going to show you what that looks like. So here he is, Humpkin, and he's got all his little leaves all the way around. Okay, so we're actually going to turn our work so that the leaves lie down. Okay, so I'm just going to move him to one side. So we're going to turn the work so that you're now working in the opposite direction, and we're going to chain 3. And now we are going to do, so you see the next stitch here, we are going to do a double crochet into that stitch there. Okay, so that's double crochet in US terms, that would be a treble in UK terms. Okay, but I have written the pattern in US terms, so I'm really trying to make myself remember to do that. Okay, so, and then we do another treble, sorry, another US double crochet into the same stitch, and then we're going to do a chain 2 picot. Is it still a picot if it's only in 2 stitches? I don't know. Anyway, it's two chains and then a slip stitch back into the first of those chains. Yep, just about managed that. And then another 2 double crochets back into the same hole. And then chain 3 and then slip stitch into the next stitch. And there you have your first little tiny leaf. Ah, isn't it cute? Okay, so I'm just going to carry on now doing a couple more to show you how to go about that. So now we're going to slip stitch into the next stitch, so it leaves a little tiny gap. Okay, there, and we're going to start again. So 3 chain, double crochet into the next stitch. Okay, 1 more double crochet. Okay, and then chain 2, slip stitch into the first one, which will make that cute little point. This is a little bit tricky. I'm finding this quite tricky. So you can see it looks like I might have split my stitch. Let me just do that one again. Let's see. Am I going to edit this? Probably not. Right, let's go again. So we're just going in there. That's better. I just got caught up there. So, and then so that's our little chain 2 and slip stitch into the first one. And then we're double crocheting back into the same stitch again. 1. Ooh, splitting again there. Hold on. And number 2. Okay, so you can see it makes a nice cute little point. And then we're just doing the 3 chains and back into the next stitch. So we're slip stitching into that next stitch. Come here, it's escaping. Come back, stitch. Where have you gone? Oh dear. Right, come back. There, got it. Okay, so now we've got 2 little leaves, and you can see that they push down over on the side that we want there, like that. And then we go into the next stitch as a slip stitch again, and then you're just repeating it. So you go all the way around, and I'll meet you back here at the end. Okay, so here we are back where we started, and I'd like to tell you that it was absolutely, my amazing maths that meant that when I worked this pattern out, that it all worked out. And look, here is the last stitch, but it was actually more luck than judgment. I'm just very, very, very grateful that when I did design this, that it worked first time, and that they actually all add up to the right amount. So here we go, the last slip stitch into the first one, and here we go. If I just hold that out like that, and I'll just get one of my little stitch markers from over here. Here we go. Just get one of my little stitch markers. These are actually going to be one of the prizes in the competition, but look how cute that is. And it's typical me that I've made lots of exciting stitch markers. Look, here we go, whole load of them. Have I listed all of those on Etsy yet? No, I haven't, but I will try and do it before the end of this C.A.L. But anyway, here we go. I love the making, I just don't like doing the listing, it's really boring. But anyway, so here we go. I've put a stitch marker in it so I can turn it around and show you how it looks. So there we go, we've got all of the cute little leaves. There we go, like that. And the next bit we're going to do, so this will fit onto Humpty. Let me just get my little model one, because I haven't made another whole pumpkin. You see, here we go. So Humpty, the rainbow Humpty, is going to model this one for us. And what you do is you just slip him inside and you'll see you can just about get the feet in, and you can see how it's going to look. So it's very much like one of the 80s puffball skirts. So it's all poofy like this, all like puffs up like that, and then it's going to attach around the waist here in a minute. But first of all, we have to do the little curlicues, the little tendrils that come out. So we'll take this back off again and I'll show you how to do that bit. Okay, so I have actually fastened it off at the back, because although it would be very tempting to do the little curlicues and tendrils here, that is actually where the back seam is, and we want the neatest bits to be at the front really. So I am going to make a new chain, and I do like how it's attached to one side in sort of asymmetrical ascot type look, like Fred from Scooby-Doo. But you could put yours wherever you want. You could put it at the front, you could put it at the other side, you know, it's entirely up to you. You could add extra ones if you wanted and have it all going up around his head and trailing down, whatever you want to do. But I am going to do my little one here like I have already. So we're going to start off with a new chain. So I have my slip stitch, start a new chain, and I am going to chain 35. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 32, 33, 34, 35. Okay, so, and I'm just going to test this to see if that's about the right length, which I think it is. So I'm folding it in half. Actually do a bit asymmetrical on this as well. I'm doing it on like 2/3 and 1/3. Sorry, like, well, you know. So I think that will go like that. And then I'm just going to hook into the second chain from the hook, and I'm going to do 3 single crochets in each stitch all the way to the end. So that will then start to create the curl, because the outside becomes wider than the inside. It starts to curl it around, and you should get some really cute little spirals forming. Okay, so I'm gonna carry on with this and I'll see you at the end. Okay, so I've done all of the little twists, and as you can see they just twirl up into little spirals, which looks super cute. So I would just have a look and have a little play with it and see what you think looks good. I like the sort of asymmetrical look. And obviously you're going to need to sew in the ends, sort of run it back through up the line, and you know, hide it up in there. That's what I did on my last one, so I'll do that in a minute. But just for these purposes, I'm just going to sew it to the front so you can see. So here we go. And I'm just having a look. Right, that's roughly in the middle, so I'm going to attach mine just in here like this. Let's have a look. Where do I want to balance it? Like that, I think. Okay, so I'm going to come in behind, and I'm using a sharp needle. I like to use a sharp needle because it goes where you want it to go, but depending on your preference, you might want to use a blunter, more blunt darning needle, but personally I feel like you can be more precise with a sharp. Anyway, I'm just doing a couple of stitches in the back to secure it. And then I'm going to go through to the front, and I'm just going to go a couple of little stitches here like this. I'm actually going to go through, like down through the edge, so that it sort of pinches it in a little bit. So I think that's going to give it a little bit nicer effect there. Just do a couple of stitches. Now I'm binding that over the top. And then I'm just going to secure it through the back of one of these stitches. And then I'm going to weave it in through here. Just do a little bit. Ooh, try not to catch it on that one. That is the only downside of a sharp one, is it can catch in things. I'm just going to run that along a little bit more. Okay, right, now depending on how you want to attach it to your little Humpty, you could keep this thread long, pop in your little Humpty friend, and sew it by hand into here. So I'm just going to I'm going to take this out afterwards, because poor Humphrey, he's only being helpful and demonstrating this one. But you could literally sew it in by hand like this all the way around, catching it into the back of the stitches and that round of single crochet where you started and before you made your leaves. But you could also, if you wanted, hook up your thread and actually hook through and slip stitch it around. So it's entirely up to you. I would say probably the easier method like this is to stitch it on. When I made this one, when I actually made the first one, I slip stitched it to the row of front loop onlys that were left on the round when I was making the body, and then I actually did the leaves all the way around and crocheted it on when he was already attached. But I did think that made it a little bit tricky, especially because I'd assembled him and trying to get in under the armpits, things like that. So I thought for this I would demonstrate it doing it as a separate piece and then attaching it as if you would an item of clothing afterwards. If you really wanted, you could probably put a bit of elastic in the back so that you could put it on and off, and then you could put it on your different Humpty toys, and you know, they could have different outfits. But for ease of this, just sewing it on through the front loops only that you've left, just catching it in all the way around, and then you'll end up with your lovely little pumpkin little dress type thing, little pumpkin outfit, which I think is super cute. Okay, so that's today's tutorial, and join me tomorrow when we'll be doing that.